And I think that means we're live. Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Only about 10 minutes late, not a big deal, right? Anyway, guys, we got a. Sorry, I should actually look at you guys. Yeah, we got a cool little show going right now. Right now, I know I'm not expecting to have anybody. Like, if I had one person watching this, I'd be surprised, because right now San Diego Comic-Con is live. Like, I'm looking at YouTube and they keep on hitting me with all sorts of things like, oh, we're doing this and Marvel's doing this in San Diego Comic-Con, Marvel's doing that in San Diego Comic-Con. I don't even know why Marvel goes to the Comic-Cons anymore. You know, like, I actually hear of people who've been going to the Comic-Cons forever. They just stopped going. I'm talking about certain retailers because they can't compete. You know, like, there's so much crazy show going. Oh, hey, Victor. What's going on, man? Fraginator, too. Hey, morning. Jeez, it still says 0 people watching. How are you? You guys are watching through the ether, aren't you? Anyway, there's so much going on with Comic-Con right now, specifically with Marvel. I don't know why they even do it anymore. I literally feel like they should just say, you know what? We're going to have our own special thing and just do it on a completely different weekend. Let people enjoy this San Diego Comic-Con in a different way. Stop making it such a... I don't know, man. The Comic-Con should actually be paying Marvel to come in and do their stuff there. That's the way I look at it. But either way, whatever. There's a lot going on. One of the things that happened that I'm actually kind of surprised at, but I hope it's a wake-up call for Marvel. And I just really want to get this bad news out really quick. The Inhumans. Anybody watching me, you should know I'm a pretty big fan of the Inhumans, you know? I never really talked about them a whole lot before because they weren't really prominent before, but now they're, boom, out in the forefront, you know? Only a couple months older than the X-Men and created by the exact same 2 people, Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. And Jack Kirby news coming up. Very, very heartwarming Jack Kirby news. Besides the fact that he was honored by Marvel, he was honored in a different way also. So, yeah, the idea of them making the Inhumans TV show, which is going to start off in IMAX, that's actually kind of a big deal. That's a pretty big deal that they're taking that risk. Here's the problem with that risk. That trailer sucks. If you guys went and checked out my reaction, I watched it live, not live, but live. For the first time that I watched it, I saw the first couple of seconds, and that's what I always do. And then I just, boom, I put it all together. I set up my mic and my video camera, and then I watch everything after the first couple of seconds live for the first time. And my reaction, I'm literally just like, what the frick is this? Like, okay, Lockjaw looks really good. I can see that's where all of their budget went. But from what they're showing, it doesn't look very good at all. I'm not even remotely impressed. Not even remotely. So nothing but sad news in that regard. Except here's where it gets worse. They debuted that at the Comic-Con on Friday. Guess what happened? The people actually laughed. The people viewing it actually laughed. I mean, that's never happened with a Marvel thing before. Again, it's not a Marvel movie, but dude, like, can you imagine them laughing at Daredevil? Can you imagine that? So, yeah, and it wasn't like an uproarious, obnoxious, guffawing or anything like that. Nothing like that, but just, it was literally like above a chuckle. Reminds me of the, what was it, the Transformers, the movie, the Quintessons. How shall we celebrate? Perhaps a chuckle. Yes, let us chuckle. It's just me. Yeah, exactly, Victor. Like, how disrespectfully sad that is, and I don't blame the audience at all. You know, how can you blame an audience? How can you blame someone who's watching it? They're going to like it or they're not, and enough consensus that people just started laughing. I'm sure there were people there who didn't even want to, but they just got caught up in it because, like, yeah, what are you going to do, man? It's sad. Whatever it is, it's sad. Honestly, I'm still going to go and see it. I'm still going to go see it in IMAX. I got an IMAX and it's like a 8-minute bus ride from me. Yeah, why wouldn't I go and see it, you know? All right, Justice League. Now I'm going to get into rumor territory, and I don't like getting into rumor territory, but this actually brings me into a couple of things that I'm going to try and condense big time. Me? Condense? Yeah, sure. Anyway, Justice League. Rumors on the Justice League. First off, Joss Whedon is ripping apart the Justice League, and the reshoots might as well be called a new movie. Because, yeah, like he's changing pretty much everything that happened, and that's a good thing. So that means that the trailer that we've already seen for Justice League, that no longer exists. All right, just keep that forgotten. I think that most of those scenes, case in point, like the Aquaman, the thing that I actually complained about the most, Aquaman is surfing on the damn Batmobile and going, "Woohoo, hang 10, dude!" And he didn't actually say that, but I was like, it's Keanu Reeves. That's not Jason Momoa. That's Keanu Reeves. I don't want to see freaking Keanu Reeves as Aquaman. So, yeah, just absolutely ridiculous what Zach was sitting there doing. So now Joss comes along, and he's apparently fixing a lot of things in there. Here's an issue that's curious. Matt Reeves is apparently looking to completely undo the entire Batfleck script. So Ben Affleck did most of this script for Batman, the Batman, excuse me, and he's undoing pretty much all of it. He's practically rewriting the entire thing. On top of that, the rumor is that they're actually looking to get rid of Batfleck. Oh, he would still star in this apparently, but he would be phased out. And they're going to think about doing a different Batman to get in there. Now, again, these are all rumors, all right? But these are big rumors that are going out all over the place because we're talking about, like, Ben Affleck. I enjoy Joss's work. I love Joss's work. Joss is freaking amazing, Frag. Joss is unbelievable. I can't wait to see what he's going to do with Batgirl. More than I care about what he's going to, like, I care what he's going to do with Justice League because that's the big deal. But his own territory is working on Batgirl, working on those strong female lead movies. Is he paying to be Batman? No, he's not. They're paying him to be Batman. They went to him and everything. Here's the thing about it. If Ben Affleck is planning on leaving on his own, because he voluntarily stepped down from from directing Batman and graciously handed it over to Matt Reeves, you know what I'm saying? Because he was dealing with problems with alcoholism. And I've talked about this a couple of podcasts ago, how I think that Ben Affleck is one of the bravest human beings I know. To be able to come out and say, listen, here's what I'm dealing with right now. I'm sorry to all my fans who are having these issues, and questioning what's going on. I apologize. This is what I'm dealing with right now. And, like my family's dealing with this and everything. And yeah, like that's brave. That's really brave, to come out and say, to come out and do, make that public. So honestly, if Ben Affleck himself is saying, I'm going to step down, that's one thing. But if DC, Warner Brothers, this is Warner Brothers, mind you, I shouldn't say DC. If Warner Brothers is looking to replace Ben Affleck, dude, that would be like Marvel, and yes, Marvel or Disney, trying to replace Robert Downey Jr. Because that's literally the celebrity crossover that you can look at, And wouldn't it be great to see those two face off against each other, huh? But yeah, that's kind of the big deal that I'm looking at right now. Yeah, I loved Batfleck. I don't like what the character is doing in there, but he didn't write that. That was a Zack attack, with killing people, and things like that. But he plays Batman really well. Again, if he's dealing with alcoholism, again, if he's, slipping, if something bad is happening in his life, let him step down on his own. Like, let him bow out graciously on his own. Don't replace him. And again, this is just rumors, so I don't know what's going on. But this does bring me to another subject that I had been thinking about with DC and Warner Brothers. Now, I feel that Marvel has a great... I don't know if you guys remember back when Disney said we're going to buy Marvel. They're on the verge of bankruptcy. They're hating life. Life sucks for them. We are going to buy Marvel. And everybody's like, oh man, they're going to have, Spider-Man with the big Mickey Mouse things on. And I'm sitting there laughing, like, why? Do they have Batman instead of bat ears? They got the Bugs Bunny ears? Because Warner Brothers owns Batman, owns all of DC Comics. So why would there be that? Why would they do that? And Marvel has been very, very good. Been taken care of very good by Disney. Wow. Okay, I'm all over the place here. But yeah, Disney's literally been a great sponsor and owner, parent company, I should say, for Marvel. But now let's look at how Warner Brothers has been treating DC Comics, specifically in the movie field, okay? Because over here, Kevin Feige was put permanently in charge, well, I don't know about permanently, but completely in charge, all right, while he's still working for Marvel, in charge of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He has complete and total utter say in what happens in the Marvel Universe over there. Now, other people could step in that are much, much higher up, clearly, but like Ike Perlmutter is not allowed to. He was the CEO of Marvel, but Disney isn't going to have that nonsense. Plus, apparently he's got the same responsibilities, but whatever, this elusive, nobody likes Ike Perlmutter. But anyway, just let him stay reclusive. But Ike Perlmutter was butting in on the MCU, and he was the reason why a lot of people didn't like what was happening in Iron Man 2, why so many people were like, dude, what the hell is going on with Iron Man 3, and a bunch of other things. So they finally said, okay, you know what? Feige should not have to answer to Ike Perlmutter anymore, so boom, you've now got autonomy. Whoa, that's a big deal. Meanwhile, over in Warner Brothers, they say, oh yeah, we want to compete with Marvel. Then why don't you compete with Marvel? Instead of just putting stuff out is not competing with Marvel. Heck, I wouldn't mind competing with Marvel. If I don't actually put out a comic book, how is that competing with Marvel? I don't want to compete with Marvel. I like reading Marvel stuff. But so here's the deal. DC has an entire cinematic universe, right? No, they don't. They've got a mess, and they're still working off the Warner Brothers lot. Look, how come Warner Brothers doesn't simply allot a building, even just a single studio, to DC and say, look, this is the DC studio. It is yours completely. We will not mess with you. We're not going to have like 8 different people. I'm not joking. 8 different people talking. Here, we're going to give autonomy. Who wants it? Jeff Johns, do you want it? You can take it. You will now be the Kevin Feige of the DC Cinematic Universe. But they don't do that. Warner Brothers still says, no, we're going to hold it close to our side. Wow. Way to try and compete there. Way to try and compete. Dick Fillmore, hey, what's up? Sorry, I'm late to yell at you. That's all right. I expect it'll be coming soon. Tom Harris, what's up, brother? Warner has been treating their DC properties like Looney Tunes. Well, it's been feeling like Looney Tunes, that's for damn sure. And it's killing me, man, because I say it all the time, and I think that you guys are sick of hearing it as I am sick of saying it. But with Marvel and all their problems, with Sony owning Spider-Man and all of the Spider-Man properties, which is a huge, they've got the entire Rogues Gallery, for crying out loud. The best villains in the Marvel Universe are over there, with the exception of Galactus and Doctor Doom, which are owned by Fox over there, along with the Fantastic Four and the X-Men and all of their villains. So what does the rest of the Marvel Cinematic Universe have? Not too much. And even then, the distribution rights. So they've got the property rights to the Hulk and Namor, but the distribution rights belong to Universal. So why would Marvel make another solo Hulk movie or a solo Namor movie when they're not going to get any money for the distribution of the DVDs, the Ultra, Blu-ray, Max, crap, whatever, and all the digital copies and all that other stuff they're going to do? Why would they do that? So with all the problems that Marvel and specifically Disney is having with the property rights and the characters that they own and that they don't own, they're doing great. Meanwhile, Warner Brothers is just like, no, it's all mine. DC, it's all mine. All you guys are mine. And they don't care. I've said it before, I'll say it again. If the DC Cinematic Universe fails, it bothers DC. It bothers us fans. It doesn't bother Warner Brothers. Harry Potter, right? And just they've got you name it. They've got all these different properties that they own, that these franchises, they can just be like, we're not making money there, screw it. Let's try this one. Not making money there, screw it. Let's throw out this one. And they've got dozens to throw out there. Marvel only has Marvel. And they're not even dealing with the Star Wars movies. No. That's its own thing too. So Disney literally says, okay, Marvel, here you go. Here's all the stuff that you need. Go make us money. And as long as you're making money, I don't want to hear anything, and nobody's going to say anything. Oh, Star Wars, hey, here you go. Here's all the stuff you need. Go, Lucas. Do what you need to do, and I won't bother you. You won't bother me. As long as the paychecks keep coming in, we're good. Genius. Meanwhile, freaking Fox Studios can't keep people out of the editing room or anything like that over in Fantastic Four properties, which, by the way, not only are they now planning on doing a Franklin and Valeria Richards story, which is the children of Reed and Sue Richards. Now they're also planning on doing a solo Doctor Doom movie. It's looking like it could potentially be good because they got a good director, and I don't actually remember his name. If anybody remembers his name or wants to look it up for me, that'd be cool. But although Vixen was a bit of a... Hold on. Just really quick before I get to that. Yeah, dude. Like, why don't you give them the opportunity to do what they got to do? And now you've got this Doctor Doom solo movie's about to come out. Stop. Just stop. It's to the point of stupidity at this point. They're going to keep on putting out these movies, hoping that something's going to be a hit. Look, I'm going to say something right now that might not be such a smart choice, but with what's coming out, I think it's a good thing. I am no longer going to watch anything else that Fox puts out. Oh, that's right. I said it. I said it here. I said it now. As it stands, I don't have cable TV. I have no interest in cable TV. I can find whatever medium that I want on the internet or through apps, which coincidentally enough is also through the internet, but not the point. The idea is I can find whatever I want to watch out there. I don't need to go to the movie theater and see the next X-Men movie, and I won't. I won't be seeing any more Fox movies. I'm done. I'm done with Fox until they finally get their head out their butt and decide to sell at an exorbitant rate that makes Marvel go, ugh! You know what I'm saying? But sell the rights to the entire Fantastic Four properties back to Marvel. Just do that. That's it. Just do that, okay? I don't care if they say, hey, listen, man, $8 billion. Go all Dr. Evil on them, okay? $8 billion. Something along those lines. Why not? Make them have to pull into their piggy bank. Really screw them over. Make Disney have to step in and be like, are you sure this is going to be worth it? I seriously want it to be a big deal where it's like, oh, you know what I'm saying? I don't even want Fox to work with Marvel, with the Fantastic Four. No. I'm beyond all of that. I'm one guy. I'm some dumb guy who shoots out of a solarium in his apartment. But you know what? Hopefully this spreads. Hopefully more people are just like, you know what? I'm done. Because Fox needs to pull their head out their ass. I'm so tired of these absolute morons making these horrible business decisions. Look, international businessman who has worked in 2 continents in 3 different countries, all right? Actually done business in these, not just going over there and bought something like you're going to add vacation time and buying souvenirs. Oh, forget about it, all over the world. But specifically like employed in different countries, yeah. That's an entirely different story, but I'm still not on the level of working in the movie industry or working in, a huge corporation like that. I'm more used to being a solo independent operator, But somebody like this, somebody like Fox Studios, which is huge, yeah, they're going to need a couple absolute bombs. They're going to need a couple more Fanforstics for them to finally get their heads out their butt and to see what all the rest of us see, because these guys are so establishment. They're so corporate. We know what we're doing. We know what you want. Hey, how come you're not getting what we just said that you want? They really need a couple of big-time failures, and I am more than happy to contribute to those failures by not participating, by not giving them my money. If I see a fox walking down the street asking me for dollars, I'm going to say, better go ahead, man, because I'm being silly now, but I'm that serious about it. I'm not seeing any more X-Men movies. I don't care if Hugh Jackman comes back and says, we're going to do the Logan Part 2. Sucks to be you, Hugh. You should help boycott too. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm done. I'm done with Fox. That's right. I'm not even going to go and see Deadpool 2. I'm not saying I won't watch it. But I'm not going to go to the movie theater and watch it. I'll look at it on Netflix when it comes out there. Or I'm just saying it happens, and we're in Canada. I'm in Canada, where nobody care, where the Canadian government doesn't care about bootlegging. You know what I'm saying? I am not going to bootleg. All right, I didn't do that when I was overseas, and I couldn't watch that stuff there. But I'm being honest when I say, if a buddy of mine says, "Hey, man, I got it on bootleg," I'm going to go watch it on bootleg. Screw you, Fox. That's why. Okay. Rant over. Now, moving on from that, let's see what we got here. Oh, okay, yeah, this went up a bit. Oddly enough, Timo Harry, what's up, brother? Hey, what's going on, man? Let's see. Okay, it's Tom Harris. Oddly enough, their tunes are boss. Yeah, they make good money off of them. They're planning on doing a, what the heck's it called? Space Jam 2 with LeBron. That'll go over good. It might, actually. Who knows? Dick Fillmore, Universal and Fox need to make a Hulk vs. Wolverine R-rated film with Hugh Jackman in costume. They ain't putting Hugh Jackman in costume because they're too dumb to put them in costume. They're still doing all these black uniforms and whatnot. Like, no, don't turn the lights on. They're still in Daredevil mode. Let's make everything dark, really dark. They're not going to do that. Excuse me. And Universal doesn't have the property rights to the Hulk. They only have the distribution rights. So they would actually have to work with Marvel. And Fox is too stupid to recognize that they need to work with Marvel. Even Sony Pictures, they're being stupid right now. Amy Pascal, oh yeah, we're gonna put all this stuff in the universe, and right there, like Kevin Feige is like, wait, what? No, you're not. And he was, Kevin Feige is a consummate professional, man. You see the way this guy acts, like he's not like one of us. If somebody says something stupid in front of me, I'm like, dude, that was stupid. You know what I'm saying? Kevin Feige's the type who'll just be like, let everything go, and at the end, after everybody's gone and the cameras are off, be like, I don't think that was so bright. I don't think that was such a good idea to say something like that. You know what I'm saying? I'd have made it into an international incident. I'm joking, I wouldn't have. But, like, I feel like he's more of a consummate professional than even I am. Because all he did was go like, wait, what? What are you talking about? Me, I'd just be like, no, what they're doing, I'd have clarified. I'd have clarified Amy Pascal. No, what she's actually asking is such and such and such. And, no, the deal is that Venom will not be a part of our Marvel Cinematic Universe. They absolutely will not. It's only Spider-Man for now. You know what I'm saying? So I'd have clarified that right in front of people, just so that it's understood. Wrong answer, Chief. But Amy Pascal just, she was going to be fired and gone, historically gone, if it wasn't for this deal that Kevin Feige worked out with her. And even then, the only reason why they did go through the deal was to save on the embarrassment that Sony would have had to deal with. You know what I'm saying? So it just, I don't know, man. How hard is it to just work with somebody else? I don't see how hard it is. Collabs, they're a good thing. Although Vixen was something of a letdown. You know what's funny, Tom Harris, is that Vixen was actually just supposed to be an internet thing. It was only supposed to be releases on I forget what channel it was, one of the DC channels, where they would be interludes with the actual, like a crossover between the Arrowverse, well, just the Arrowverse period. So that's the Arrow TV series, the Flash, and the Legends of Tomorrow. So the whole Arrowverse. That's all that was actually supposed to be, was in between. So when they made they just decided to take all these short films and put them together in one DVD. Now the problem is that they have it going continuously and thinking that it's actually going to, connect with each other, but unfortunately it doesn't. I bought the DVD too. I bought the DVD thinking, oh my God, Vixen, that's awesome, And then I'm looking, I was like, okay, first off, I know these stories, that's messed up. And then seeing them all in order like that, as opposed to when they come out, like the Transformers Combiner Wars that they did, they actually connected with each other. These don't. They have an overarching presence, but there's no interlinking story in between. They will introduce a brand new character out of nowhere, and you're just shocked. Like, who is this person? Like, there's only like 20 minutes left in the movie, and they're introducing a new character. Who does that? It's because they're all independent short films that just generally follow a storyline. They're more chronological than anything else, but they're all supposed to be like individual comic books. That's why that wasn't really that good. They should not have put that on DVD like that. They absolutely shouldn't have, or at least they should have done it better. Maybe add some things that actually connect everything together. There's better ways they could have done that. War Fox, hey, what's up, man? Warner Brothers is like that really talented kid in elementary school, but just wanted his potential for its own ego. Blah. Oh my God, why can't I see right now? But just wanted his potential for his own ego. Yeah, I hear you. He wasn't actually trying to get better. So, like Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers isn't... Okay, I'm going to sum that up into one word. Safety. Safety, like a safety net. They're looking at it as, okay, we've got something that works. Let's just keep going. And you're totally right on that, They have great potential. There's so much they could do, but they're like, no. Let's not take a risk. Let's not take any risks. Which is dumb. which is dumb. Just the idea that they had Zack Snyder working on the universe. It wouldn't have taken more than a couple of hours to look through Zack Snyder's movies and say all of his movies have the exact same formula as 300. 300 is outdated. Okay, 300 is outdated at this point. It would be like doing bullet time for everything at this point. We've seen bullet time was great when The Matrix first came out. It was revolutionary, and sometimes it can work, but the whole movie can't be bullet time. This whole quick action scene and then slow motion, powerful impact, look, oh my God, there's spit and cheeks moving and things like that, and then continue with the fast, and like the stop-go thing, that worked great. Amazing for, I almost said Spartacus, for 300, okay? That worked great for 300, but it's outdated, and you cannot keep making movies like that. You could do that maybe once or twice in a movie, but you can't keep doing that with every action scene that happens. You can't keep doing that. And yet somehow, these freaking morons, they keep going, oh, well, Zack Snyder had something that worked. Sir, that was actually 20 years ago. Hey, did I say it worked? Yes. Are you disputing me? Absolutely not, sir. All right, then. Come on, man. It don't take much to realize nobody wants to see another 300 movie, all right? They want to see something different. Okay, well, look, that was supposed to be a trilogy, and maybe they will do a part 3. Maybe Zack Snyder will do a part 3. But if Zachy doesn't get his head out of his butt and realize he can't keep on doing the fast, slow thing, then it's going to be like, a lot of people go and watch it on the first week. After that, nobody watches it. And the DVD sales won't go because, dude, wake up. So still making movies the exact same way, there's a thing called a three-legged horse, all right, or a three-legged dog. There's only but so many things a three-legged dog can do. Translation of a one-trick pony. That's why I got that confused. Anyway, so yeah. Warner Brothers does not want to take any risks. They want to go with what worked on paper because they don't want to actually look. They don't want to ask the fans what worked. They'd rather do an expensive algorithm as opposed to just doing, like, let's say, a man on the street interview. Because who wouldn't want to see? Oh wow, I've got my. That's something I do for acoustics. Who wouldn't want to see, screw this, a man on the street interview where we actually discuss, what do you like, what do you not like about comic book movies? What would you like to see in a Superman movie? You know what I'm saying? What would you like to see in a Batman movie? Hey, which new character would you like to see us make a movie about? And it would be cheaper than hell, and you've got a huge amount of huge amount of data that you could crunch together and then say, okay, well, this is our new algorithm. But no, it's easier to just say, okay, hire this company to do something. And the company says, these jackasses keep on hiring us and we're not doing anything special. So, yeah, I agree with you, War Fox. These guys, they need to wake the hell up. Wow, that just jumped big time. Okay, so, Victor. I never even went to see the most recent Fantastic Four movie. Good on you. Good on you. And to be honest, brother, I saw a bootleg. Whatever. Wasn't mine. Timo Harry. Fox could do a decent FF film. They just need to get some good writers. Directors don't seem to be the problem. It's lack of depth and substance that equals story. I think that Josh Trank would have been really good on this. He was immature. He was as immature as hell. But he did have a lot of bearing down. Like, that's the only excuse I'm going to give to him. He just had a lot of problems with Fox weighing down. And it's known that Fox Studios are like, okay, here you go. Go ahead, do what you're gonna do. We won't bother you. And all of a sudden, surprise, we lied. We're actually going to bother you. Okay, what are you doing? Okay, we don't really know if we like this. This is a direction that we're not comfortable with. So, hey, we're going to bring in 2 more directors to take some advice from these guys. Why did you bring me in the first place? You know what I'm saying? So, and yes, the writers. Writers would help too. How about people who are actually fans? Again, Kevin Feige's biggest claim to fame is that he is a fan of the Marvel Comics. That's it. And look how well they're doing. Tom Harris. I honestly didn't mind the casting choices. The story was just, ugh. Yeah, agreed. At the same time, with the Fan 4 stick, they screwed up. Josh Trank didn't want The girl who played, I know her name, but the girl who played the Invisible Woman, Susan Storm, they didn't want her to be in the movie at all. He didn't want her to be in the movie. Fox said, we want her to be in the movie. So they're like, okay, fine. But like he treated her bad and everything. So yeah. Like he again, he's an immature little prick who thought that he was somebody special. Whatever. His entire movie career is finished at this point. Like we're never it's my opinion, I don't think we're ever going to hear from Josh Trank again until he starts doing a couple of solo movies where literally he's doing like home shooting, hand cam type cam, whatever. He's going to be funding it himself. You know what I'm saying? Or doing very small independent films, and maybe we'll start actually hearing from him again if he's actually got, if he's worth his weight in salt. In the meantime, he shot his career right in the head by being an immature little prick. That's that. Dick Fillmore, you're right. And he says, Kevin is a G, total pro. Yes, he is. And when you say Kenny, Kevin G, I was thinking Kenny G, and I'm like, oh, the oboe, do 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 do. This is where Dick says he's gonna slap me. Timo Harry, any Captain Marvel news yet out of SDCC? No, actually, there's not. Hold on, and the rumor that there will be the deaths in Infinity War. I wonder, does Steve Rogers die and Falcon become Cap? Wilson for future Marvel DC films. Good question. All of that. What do you call it? Very. Okay, let's see if I can answer all of that together. The Captain Marvel news that has come out has not been released in the universe. In the San Diego Comic-Con yet. I actually expect something about that either later on today or tomorrow. Right now, the last I checked, they're doing some virtual reality thing with Marvel Heroes, the video game, which, I don't care. I don't play video games personally, but what do you call it? Although, granted, I did just recently download DC Universe Legends, whatever it's called. It's the old MMO that I played it twice since I downloaded it. That was a month and a half ago. Maybe, you know what? I might actually play the game tomorrow a little bit. If I get all my videos done by tomorrow, I might play the game tomorrow a little bit. Live streaming, that would be nice, but we'll see. I don't actually know how to do live streaming for video games. We'll see, though. But I wouldn't mind actually playing the game and being like, oh, hey, look, that's Titania. Titania's actually in Marvel. Oh, look, that's Gigana. Wow. Yeah, Gigana, her history is such and such. I would love to do something like that. I have a hard time finding the time right now. So, what do we have? Captain Marvel, the idea is that a major player in this is going to be Nick Fury, Samuel L. Jackson. He's not just going to be cameoing in the movie. He's flat out going to be in the movie. So she will probably not be an agent of S.h.i.e.L.D., although that might be the new thing that Nick Fury, does. They might introduce S.h.i.e.L.D. into this, because they seem to be introducing S.h.i.e.L.D. over in, for crying out loud, Marvel's Agents of S.h.i.e.L.D., all right? At the end of that most recent season, Agent Coulson wakes up and he goes out and he's looking out at space. He's in a space station of some sort, a satellite, and he's like, all right, time to get to work. And holy crap, that spells sword to me. And if that's the case, maybe that's how they're going to somehow interlace the Marvel universe and the cinematic universe with the TV universe. That would just be gold. That would be gold to me. I would love to see something like that. And we have seen a lot of Clark Gregg, the guy who plays Agent Coulson, interact with a lot of the cinematic universe guys recently. Boom. As long as I see Daisy Johnson in there too, we're good. But a little Ghost Rider wouldn't hurt. So, as far as what they're going to do with her, she is apparently going to be in Infinity War because she's there on location now, and that filming doesn't start until February. January, February. I think it's February is when the filming for that actually starts. They're in production right now, though. So they're keeping her. I believe that's in Atlanta, Georgia. So there's that. As far as the deaths in there, I know it's like the worst thing in the world to say, especially since Captain America is my favorite character, but more so than seeing Tony Stark die, which, whatever. Like, to me, I really just don't care what they do with Tony Stark. Robert Downey Jr. is playing the perfect Tony Stark, which is that if you like the character, you're really not getting the depth of the character. You know what I'm saying? I love to hate Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark. But as far as Captain America, Chris Evans is killing that. He's killing that role. And I think that it would be nice if he died in the movie. You know what I'm saying? Pass the shield to Bucky first, I would say, for the sake of conversation. And then maybe Sam Wilson can wind up getting it too. Or these two have a battle for the shield, whatever. The best parts of Marvel is always the heroes fighting each other anyway, right? I don't really know what they should do with that. I don't have any direct input on that because I like both of them as Captain America, but I do believe that Chris Evans should die in this because in this or in the next one, because I would love to see him rehired again and then come back. I believe that they will do it justice. They'll do it differently than they did it in the comics. That's my opinion. But they will do it justice, and I think that it will be it's one of those kind of scenes where I want more than anything else for the people who didn't read the Ed Brubaker run with the death of Captain America. What was that, in 2008, 2009, something like that? The people who didn't read that, I want them to at least be able to experience it on the big screen. I want as many people as possible to see that so they can realize just how important of a character Captain America is in the comics, because that's, to me, that's a big deal. And I want more people to see how awesome Captain America is. And unfortunately, Captain America is much like Superman, These are characters who, for the most part, they solve things with their fists, just in different power levels. But it's only when they're gone do you realize how much you would miss them if they were gone, And I would love to see that. So yes, I really would like to see, more than anything else, I would love to see Captain America be killed, saying in this, assassinated. I think it would do a lot. Victor, hey, is this a Marvel face... Oh, stop jumping. Marvel face rip thing? Angle? No, but I could consider it. Over in the Nerderkey channels, right? Yeah, Monday. Monday's my game. Oh, yeah, I got to run a game for them on Monday. Over the YouTube channel Nerderkey. Nerdarkey, one word. For any of you guys who don't actually know about them, I run a face rip game 12 o'clock noon. So at the same time that I start this, but on Mondays, 12 o'clock noon, I run a Marvel face rip superheroes role-playing game with dice and all that good stuff with these guys. Kate Mara, thank you, Tom Harris. That was from much earlier. Fragonator Jessica Alba was the older the older one. That's funny. But really quick, yeah, man. I feel that I don't know, whatever. That's just my opinion on all that good stuff. But all right, I think Tony and Steve sacrificed themselves against Thanos. Seeing them both together, yes, that would actually be pretty cool. That would actually be pretty cool. Is there a new Fantastic Four Fragonator? No, there's not. There's going to be the new movies, which I'd mentioned earlier. That's it. There's still going to be the same Fantastic Four. But Dick Fillmore, yeah. If maybe if Tony and Steve did patch things up and sacrifice themselves, that could be cool. That could be cool. But I feel that Tony Stark should stick around because Robert Downey Jr. said he's willing to stick around. And I say you let him stay and pay him whatever the hell he wants. You know what I'm saying? And because they're going to make that money back, all right? But by all means, my oldest son is singing. And I hear him through the sliding glass door. But anyway, yeah, it would be kind of cool to see that. But Vance Astro being introduced in the Infinity War to get the shield. Okay, that's a really big stretch. And I see the little funny face that you're doing. Yeah, 3 people who have wielded the shield, huh? All right. Moving on. Brevin Campbell 12. Hey, what's going on, brother? What do you call it? I've been watching Brevin Campbell. Hitting it off pretty good with his comic book reviews, man. Genuinely, I do watch your stuff. I don't comment all the time, but I will watch your stuff. You got a shtick, man. The black trench coat with the silver Superman symbol on the black background. I love that, dude. What do you call it? Dick, here it comes. Oh, Plants vs. Zombies, at least. Dick Fillmore, what the hell, man? Timo Harry, I was curious about Captain Marvel as she is the latest Marvel vs. Capcom game. Is she? She just got introduced, okay. And she's pretty powered up. She is. She really is. Makes me wonder how they're building on her character hype movie-wise. power, if she gets hit with energy, she takes the damage from it, but she also absorbs it. At the same time, she can turn it into an energy store, and she'll actually turn it into binary, which is a seriously powerful character. Like, her skin turns red and everything. She was a part of the Shi'ar Imperial Guard while she was binary. She was unbelievably powerful, and you don't get to see her pull that off very often, but yeah, she's taking people out. Let's see. Brevin Campbell. Nah, they are not connecting them much. I know they're not. Not standalone. Gotcha. In, not standalone. Darn keyboard substitution. Yeah, I know that feeling. What else we got here? Brevin. Laugh out louding on loving heroes fight. Captain America title announced for Legacy at, yes, I saw that, San Diego Comic-Con yesterday. They announced, it's going to be the same title, but with they're going to start with issue number 595. That's just the renumbering is all that they're actually doing there. Currently, they're on issue 17 or something like that, whatever. But after the Marvel Legacy happens, which will be right after the Secret Empire. So Secret Empire will finish Marvel Legacy. They'll do 10 issues of one-shots, possibly a couple little crossovers, but hopefully not. Hopefully not. Just those 10 issues should be enough. By the way, they just announced this last week, lenticular covers for them. They're going to be variant covers. But I already told my comic book shop dude, I don't care what you do, but one of those lenticular covers, order one of each just for me alone. Put in my pull box. So I'm good. I'm getting my lenticular covers. And I can't wait to try and get Greg Pak to sign at least 2 of them, right? But anyway, yes, he's going to go back to his regular numbering. Apparently not including the Captain America comics, which went to, what was it, 53 issues? Whatever it was. He went to a certain number of issues. You're welcome, Brevin. No thanks necessary. I love your channel. That's all there is to it. But what do you call it? They announced all of this good stuff at Legacy. He's going to return to original numbering. Now, what does that mean? That means issue number 600 is up. And that means there are exactly 6 issues until issue number 600. 6 issues is the typical story arc in Marvel and DC. Marvel will sometimes do a 4-issue story arc, but for the most part, 6 issues is what they need for a typical story arc in the comics. So, bada bang, bada boom. You're talking about there's going to be a story arc that's going to lead to something. I don't know what it is, but it's going to be something amazing in issue number 600. That's going to be something that legit, that is going to sell out in the comic book stores on the very first day, and you are not going to want a second edition of this. You're going to want a first edition of this, because it's going to be something amazing. They're going to do something, maybe introduce a new character, whatever, something where you're going to say, where was I when this happened, all right? That's all I'm saying. That's my best guess estimation, and I'm standing by it. So, Frag, never heard of them. Is there more than one Fantastic Four? I'm way behind, apparently. No, there's not more than one Fantastic Four. There were different variations of the group, but not really. I meant the camera of your angle is how you set up for the face rip game. Yes, you're right. Yeah, I have it over here. I have to reset it up. I've actually got a... I don't know if you guys have ever seen this setup. I'm going to take you into this is my side. Oh, this is my notes for a future storyline that I'm doing. But here's my my laptop here. You actually see I bought this in Saudi Arabia. Can you see the Arabic numerals on there also, along with the regular? Well, what's funny is our number system. Our number system is Arabic numeral system, but we've got the Roman numbers here. But here we have the Arabic letters on here also. So yeah, that's actually my, I bought this when I was working in Saudi Arabia. But this is actually my setup for my camera, as weird as this is. I've got a little light up here, which I have to change the batteries. And I've got my Blue Yeti microphone in here. I put a sock over top of it. I know it's weird, right? But I put a sock over top of it as a form of a, not a spit guard, but what the hell is it called? Pop. It's a pop filter. There we go. It's called a pop filter. So it's just a cheap variation of a pop filter. And I've got the foam cushioning inside as a soundproofing. This whole thing is actually a plastic tote. So on the outside of that, to prevent any further vibrations, I actually bought this big coat in Saudi Arabia. what do you call it? That's all it is a big coat, and I put it over top of this. This is how completely jury rigged my system is. But that is my setup for my mic, and I'll usually put my camera right here. But right now it's leaning to the side. I don't know if you guys can see that from the camera angle, and for that reason I have to actually reset it up. I have to resituate it because it's causing the whole thing to lead. So yeah, when I do the face rip games, this is actually how I usually do my stuff. So anyway, yeah, a quick little tour of the the Bat Cave. Too many sock jokes in my mind, dick. Oh, and here's something you don't usually get to see. You always get to see this background, but I have this stuff on the other side. I got my Stan Lee signature over here. I got me meeting Stan Lee at the Fan Expo Canada last August. Here's my Comic Book University thing that I made up. I'm kind of a fan of swords. Anyway, yeah, this is my Star Wars setup. I just recently got the Brawn character. Absolutely, he's actually my favorite Transformer, as weird as it may sound. And yes, of course, Viva la Raza is in front of some of my favorite wrestlers. But yeah, this is the wall that I usually look at. Anyway, whenever I'm doing my filming. So, okay, enough with the tour. So back to standard. Dick Form, I know, I love you, brother. Just giving you shit. Of course. It wouldn't be you if you weren't. Dick Fillmore. Let's see. 695. What's six? Oh, yeah, issue number. It's supposed to be issue 695? I see what you're saying. Okay. I'm going to take your word for it. You're probably right, as opposed to 595. That was the reference to the Captain America thing that I was just talking about. Okay, Timo Harry, not comics related, but some horror characters have had run-ins in comic titles. Saw news that Channing Tatum will be the new Van Helsing. They're trying to tap him for it, and it would be cool if they did. Look, I talked about this, I believe, last podcast. I would love to see the Dark Universe actually go crazy and be really good. Like, I know The Mummy didn't do very well. I liked it. For the most part, I liked it more than I disliked it. And Tom Cruise, he's a really good actor. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what anybody says about his personal life. Yes, he's a little loco en la cabeza. Not what I'm questioning here. he's actually really good. Boo on Channing Tatum. Sorry, brother. He's also our best bet to have a Gambit movie. Sorry. He's fighting for it harder than anybody else. Which, by the way, I will not see because it's owned by Fox. I'm such a dick. So anyway, okay, so everybody check out my stuff. No, I do not have any claymores. I have my katana and I have my toy sword over here. And this isn't even a real katana, unfortunately. I had a real one that was actually handed to me by a sensei when I achieved my first degree black belt in Togokoro Ninjutsu. I went up to third degree. He actually gave me a katana because I was actually a private student of his. And I lost that along with all of my comic books and everything, all of my DVDs, all of my signed CDs. That I had back in 2011 when I made my big move over to the Middle East to work over there. So it is what it is. Edge of Tomorrow is badass, though. Yeah, that really was good, right? I actually saw that on a plane. I think I was on my way to Egypt to see that. Anyway, okay, enough. I've got some things I want to finish up here. The Defenders is going to be coming to TV to Netflix on the 18th of August. So a month from now, most of us will have binge watched the hell of this out of this, and then be watching it slowly for the second time. You know what I'm saying? Because this episode comes out on the 22nd of July. Get yourself a Zatoichi. No, you spelled it correctly. I believe you spelled that correctly. A Zatoichi. Yeah, that's funny. What does Zato mean? I forget. Ichi is one. In Japanese, Ichi, ni, san, shi, go, roko, shichi, hachi, ku, ju. And then Juichi, Junichi, all that good stuff. Yeah, I'm not too bad in Japanese. Out of practice, but I'm not too bad. But so Ichi means one. Zato, I forget what Zato is. It's actually supposed to be Zatoichi, but I always say Zatoichi also. I can't remember what that means. So, does it mean sword? One sword? One cut! I believe it means one cut. I believe Zato means cut. So one cut, I think is what it's supposed to. So yeah, if you know Zatoichi, you know exactly what I'm referring to. Anyways, Timo, to me, if they take Tannen in the vein similar to Peter Cushing of Hammer Studios fame, yes, it would work and be serious. Absolutely. Yeah, Defenders hype, dude. I'm very hyped about Defenders. I still have to make Explained in a Minute, and you know what? Seeing as how close they are, I need to do those ASAP. In fact, not just ASAP, ASAFP. All right, you know exactly what I'm saying. So, Defenders coming out soon, dude. That trailer, that they just put out with Stan Lee in it for the Defenders. I'm not gonna lie. I watched that for the first time. You can actually see if you watch that review of mine, you'll see that I was starting to choke up a little bit. Like I started to kind of man cry. I started to man cry a little bit, which is not technically cry. Whatever, dude. I almost started crying like a little bitch. Like that was just so beautifully done. It was the best I've ever seen. Stan Lee, you know what I'm saying? Just acting or whatever. It was amazing. Better than the Princess Diaries 2. Yeah, Princess Diaries 2. Yeah, he was in that. You're going to watch the whole movie just to see his scene. So, what do you call Okay, so Defenders aside, the Eisner Awards were just done in the San Diego Comic-Con. And forget about it, man. Freaking Saga blew everything else away. They got 4 awards. We got Best Cover Artist and Best Penciler Inker for Fiona Staples. And I love her saying that she always done, you can't have a comic without Staples. Man, if Marvel could get their hands on Fiona Staples, everything would change. Everything would change. Nerd tears are gold, no shame. What do you call it? So best continuing series. So and I'm gonna agree. I actually haven't been reading, but I know like I've been following the story without actually reading the comics. I can't afford to keep, even though that's something I just get on Comixology, free hype for them. Yeah, that's it is really good stuff. I am probably gonna have to go back and my wife actually wants me to do a spotlight on story for volume 1 of what do you call it? The for crying out loud, Saga. But honestly, I feel that I'm sure I will, but the best one I've ever seen, free press for a guy who doesn't need free press. What's her name? I don't even watch them anymore, but I used to kind of work for him. Not Benny. Sal of Comic Pop. He's also a Jersey guy. He's in Leonardo, New Jersey. I never actually got to meet him, but I did do some writing for his channel that he did for a while. Certain comic book reviews, way back in the day, back when the Secret Wars thing was happening. Anyway, his girlfriend Tiffany, his girlfriend, wife, whatever she is, Tiffany. She actually did a really good job on explaining that first volume of Saga. So I'll do it, but I'm not in any big rush to do it because, like I said, I feel that she handled it perfectly fine. Timo Harry, speaking of Fantastic Four film news, would Fox have rights to Skrulls and Super Skrull? Yes, they do. Marvel didn't think they had the rights to the Skrulls. That's why they did the Chitauri, which is the Ultimates Universe version of the Skrulls. So, but it turns out this is one of the few shared properties that they have. They both own the rights to the Skrulls. However, Super Skrull is very specifically owned only by Fox at this point. So there's that. Anyway, so Saga, they also got Best Writer. That's for Brian K. Vaughan. So four awards in the Eisner Awards, which is very cool. Here's something else. The Bill Finger Award. This is for writing. Now, they always do one for a current living writer, and they do one posthumously. So that means after the person is dead, they'll do something also. So William, I don't even know what he's writing or whatever, but William Messner Loebs is the guy who got it, who's currently alive, possibly still doing something. I didn't even see what it was for. I didn't, but I perked up because like I'm listening in the background while I'm working on my things, which I'm going to reveal in a moment. But I suddenly perked up when they said that Jack Kirby got an award. So Jack Kirby is the posthumously awarded Eisner Award winner for 2017. Why is this important? Because Jack Kirby's won lots and lots and lots of awards. But guess what this one is for? Writing. Jack Kirby has never once, to the best of my recollection, won an award for writing, and he has written. Believe it or not, he has actually written stories. In fact, he's considered to be the main creator, even though he's coupled with Stan Lee for this, but the main creator of Silver Surfer and Galactus. So the idea that he actually won this, and Bill Finger, if you don't know, is the guy who was not given credit for being the co-creator of Batman. Very huge, very long story on that, which disrespectful. Good stuff on the internet about that. Who is Bill Finger? Just look that stuff up, and you'll be shocked. You'll be shocked at that story if you don't already know it. Here's something that I found very interesting. Best humor publication is also for the Eisners. Best humor publication is Jughead currently. It's surprising that these Archie comics are still alive and going. But here's the thing. One of the three people on that comic, Chip Zdarsky, who is currently writing, he just put out issue number 2 of Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man. Wow! So that's very cool that this guy, that explains it, because if you check out my reviews, I got to actually put that review, I think I'm going to put that up tomorrow, the Peter Parker Spectacular Spider-Man issue number 2 review. I've already reviewed it, I just have to edit the video. What do you call it? But it's, and I've already put up issue number 1. It's some really beautiful stuff. It's so funny. He's such a great writer for humor. This is the Peter Parker I remember from when I was a little kid to go in the store. Dad, can I buy the Spider-Man comic book? And it's not actually how it talked, but you get the hint. You get the idea. Yep, Jack Kirby. Dick also says created SS on his own. Created the Silver Surfer on his own. Debatable, but yes, absolutely. It seems like something he absolutely would have created. At the same time, he also invented the black skier on his own, for crying out loud. So, whatever, man. But no, Jack Kirby's awesome. But I'm very happy to hear that he got an award for writing. And finally, the last thing I got on my list is the Visionaries. I don't know who remembers Marvel Comics put out the Visionaries. I used to have many of the toys for the Visionaries. This was a Hasbro toy line, and right now IDW Comics has the property rights to IDW. The rights still belong to IDW, but they have the rights to produce comic books for everything that IDW does. Case in point, the Transformers, Rom the Space Knight, which, let's be realistic, Marvel made Rom the Space Knight somebody important, because this was the dumbest toy in the world. Marvel made it amazing. Also, Mask. You guys remember Mask from way back in the day? Mobile Armored Strike Command. That's what it is, but K. Command with a K. And then also G.I. Joe and Action Man, who sucks, but whatever. And he sucks here too. Also the Micronauts, which, by the way, Marvel also made popular and famous. All that aside, yeah, Marvel really did. And the Marvel Transformers comic, I owned every single one of them. It makes me cry right now because I lost all of those. I owned every single issue of the Marvel Comics run. I think it was 80 issues of the Transformers by Marvel Comics. And I bought the toys because of the comic book. The cartoon was good too, but the really compelling stuff was in the story, was in the comic books. And wow. So yeah, IDW reprinted all of those, and currently they just, whatever, man. But the Visionaries, I'm very happy. This was actually Knights of the Magical Light, they were called. And they had all these really cool sayings for their powers. The way that the story originally worked was that the age of science had just ended, and now they were about to begin the second age or the third age, whatever, the next age of, Rom the Space Knight, the next age of magic. So science ceased to work and magic began to work. And every 10,000 years, I think it was, they would switch. The three suns of this planet would align. And then it would be like, okay, that's it. Now science doesn't work and magic works. Okay, 10,000 years later, the three suns have aligned again. Magic no longer works. Now we're going to go into science. So, yeah. And they would actually use magic to revive their sciences. So to get certain vehicles working, they would use magic to do that. They would have animal totems built into their chest plates. So like one could actually turn into a bear once a day. One could turn into like a cheetah once per day. And they also had these staves where at the end of it they had this gigantic thing and they would recite a spell. Off the top of my head, I still remember several of them. 3 suns align to pour forth their light and fill the archer's bow with might. And then like this huge archer would come out with this gigantic magical bow and just whip and just boom, blow stuff up. You know what I'm saying? He could do that once. And then he would have to make a pilgrimage back up to the wizard's tower and dip his staff into the magical waters there, and then he would have another charge of the staff. There's another guy who can make a gigantic force field. The arrows turn, the swords repel. Let nothing pierce this mortal shell. Boom, and this big gigantic force field would go over top of him. And there's a whole bunch of them like that. What creeps, what crawls, by what does not, let all that lives recede and rot. And then this, I still remember this stuff from when I was like 10 years old. Yeah, dude, like this stuff was great. This stuff was gold. But yeah, like this spider would come out and like poison things, and people would get old and all sorts of freaky weird stuff. But like they actually had all of these incredible. To me, it was very unique, very imaginative. The only thing I would really want to see left would be air warriors, which was interesting. Air was as rare as any other valuable material. So they had air-powered cars, air-powered everything, and they would fight using air. And they would actually sell air burgers, which I don't know how exactly they made those, but whatever. It was also a very imaginative story. I had issue 1 and never saw anything else. And the original Visionaries story, Marvel Comics actually owned the rights to those through license. They made the first 6 issues. I had the first 5 of 6 issues. I always thought that they failed to put out issue 6. I looked on the internet. I couldn't see anything that there was a delay, but nobody really knows about the Visionaries. But I did eventually, when I was older, find Visionaries issue 6, and I was just like, I'm actually going to complete my collection. Holy crap, that's amazing. It was supposed to be 6 issues, and boom, there you go. So, yeah, whatever. I know I'm talking about something absolutely silly, the Visionaries, but I even put out a tweet to IDW. I was like, okay, I see you're going to do, they teased it in San Diego Comic-Con. I said, okay, you're going to do a Visionaries comic. I'm going to review it. Don't make it suck, because I will tell everybody it sucks if it does. That's that. That's all I'm doing. All right? Anyway, guys, this was good. We got a bunch of questions and whatnot. Yeah, I'm just going to jet now. But I have to release it. And in fact, I'm going to do it now, and I'm going to go back and do the connections later. I have, a new Spotlight on Story. I try to release one every Saturday lately for the past couple of weeks. The Spotlight on Story is 1 issue. It is Marvel 2-in-1 issue number annual number 7. All right, so the 7th annual for Marvel 2-in-1 way back in the day, and that is being released. Boom, just published it. That is the first appearance of the Elder of the Universe called Champion of the Universe. Yes, this is clearly in response to the idea that I'm eventually getting to doing the Thanos quest. 2 issues that I'll be doing as a Spotlight on Story in one of these days coming up, hopefully in the next 2 weeks. But I'm releasing this story in the meantime. And clearly the character that I have to release is, let me just add 1982 as a tagline on there. And bada boom, I have just released Champion of the Universe, explained in a minute. I will now do links to those after I hang everything up. Atari Force next week? Wait, you like Atari Force? Because they just released Magic Sword and Centipede. And I didn't buy them, but I was actually thinking about doing those. Really? Yeah, if you want, I can go and pick them up. If they drop cheap, I'll buy them. Absolutely. And if I buy something, I'm going to I usually review everything that I buy. I should be reviewing Green Lanterns, but there's just, dude, like I'm reviewing too much. Like I'm actually getting myself sick reviewing too many comic books. It takes a lot having to find the stuff online, the pictures, and then line them up and then align them and do all the editing and things like that, and make sure I'm not stealing anybody's copyrights, because that could be trouble. So yeah, it's rough, but whatever, I'm making do. In the meantime, so yeah, Champion of the Universe is up. Good little story there. And Marvel 2-in-1. Yeah, I think you guys will enjoy that. It's all right. 40 minutes of me being very tired, going, okay, so here's what happened next in the story. Yeah, I did it last night. I was exhausted. Anyway, guys, that's it for me. I'm going to go out of here. No shit what? Dick, really quick before I leave. No shit what? Because that's backlogged. But anyway, that's really all I've got. So, guys, thanks so much for joining. Yeah, that's a deep nerd cut. It is. All right. So anyway, discuss more on Inhumans next week too, especially after finally seeing Medusa's hair come to life in trailer 2. Okay, I absolutely will go into that. And again, I've got to do. That's Timo Harry who said that. I've actually got to do the explained in a minute. So by doing that, I've got to take the 6 main Inhumans. And then I'm going to have to also do an Inhumans overall arc for them. Because after I'm finished with the 5 main Eternals, I've got to do the Eternals explained in a minute also. Because the Eternals are not actually brothers, believe it or not. I'm going to just tell you right now, like anybody who doesn't know, they're not related in any way, except that these were all beings they were just regular mortals from individual planets that there was like Uatu the Watcher, all of these guys. If there was only one Watcher left, he would technically be considered an Eternal, or excuse me, not an Eternal, an Elder of the Universe. But there are lots of Watchers, and they were one of the first races who existed, so their technology is great. Well, as far as the champions are concerned, these were people who just somehow, they were the last of their species, and they learned how to tap into the power primordial. So they all come from different, like some of their planets, all their planets are gone. Some of their galaxies still exist. Some of them don't. Some of them are just dead planets. Some of them have been lost in time. Some of them were actually destroyed by Galactus, eaten by Galactus. So they tap into the power primordial. I'll go into exactly what you can do with the power primordial, how it relates to the power cosmic, very different. So yeah, there's actually a lot of stuff there. Centipede and Magic Sword, Dick Fillmore. New comics, so theoretically MCU could do a Thanos origin story. Yes, they absolutely could. Yeah, they could, because they own Star Fox. They own, for crying out loud. What's his father's name? Anyway, all that good stuff. So yeah, so I'm gonna have to do an Elders of the Universe explained in a minute, just as a general, so you get an idea of what they are. Like I did with the Watchers, I explained what the Watchers were in general, and then really quickly mentioned Uatu. I may do a Uatu explained in a minute if they ever bring Uatu back, which I wouldn't be disappointed if they did. But so I'm gonna have to do all of the Inhumans and the individually, and then I'll have to do the Inhumans generally. Yeah, there's a lot, and there's actually something I'm sitting on. I'm actually sitting on what do you call it? For crying out loud, Floronic Man and Groot. I'm sitting on both of them, 2 tree characters, right? I should throw Poison Ivy in there too, just for the sake of conversation. But anyway, hopefully Infinity War is told from Thanos' point of view. That's an interesting thought I never even considered. I never even contemplated such a thought. Why not? At the very least, Mentor, thank you. Thanos' father's name is Mentor. Calm down out there. I don't know what they're doing. But what do you call it? Yeah, you know what? At the very least, if they're not going to do Infinity War based on that, based on Thanos' point of view, I hope that at the very least they do a Marvel comic version of it based on Thanos' point of view, because that would be epic. That would be very cool, and I think that it would be told better. Anyway, guys, I'm out of here. This is way too long. I'm over my hour. All right. In 45 minutes, by the way, the Nerder Key guys, for whoever cares, I hope you do, but Nerder Key, a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition YouTube page, these guys are actually going to be doing their podcast, their Saturday weekly podcast, and I'm going to be there in the comments if you guys want to hang out with me there. In the meantime, guys, could be interesting. It's not far-fetched. They would do the route of the old universe, Paradise X storyline. That would be cool. And you know what? I'm going to leave it with this. Something I would actually like to see is Jim Shooter's New Universe. I actually liked the New Universe story. That was actually really cool. Your own little Infinity War going on there. All right. Timo, Tom, Dick, Brevin, Fraginator. Frag, I know I'm going to see you over there. All right, all of you guys. Been real, been fun, just hasn't been real fun. Just joking. Anyway, guys, thanks for showing up. And Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.